women's toilet says it clogged that could choke a horse. So if you're ready for a home-cooked Italian meal and earning half the minimum wage, come on down to DIY Spaghetti Emporium and ask for me, Rachel Hanrahan.
Are you moving? Do you need some strong guys to help you move? Are you emotionally cold or in need of a psychological breakthrough? Then call 3 Strong Guys, Emotional Movers.
Could you be careful with the bookcase? It's an antique.
No problem. Hey, are you okay?
I just got promoted, and all my dad said was, guess you're not so dumb after all.
Sometimes older men have a hard time expressing emotion, and they hide the love behind sarcasm and humor. Trust me, he's proud. Maybe you should give him a call.
I don't know.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. Oh man, I always hate when Orion shows up because it could be a male or a female name, or a first name or a last name or a donkey's name, and I don't know what I'm working with. So for now, I'll cover all bases, and I'm gonna assume you are a hermaphroditic donkey named Ryan. Everyone's got a nice little screw. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And today's wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. And so it begins.
Get ready, time for question 1.
Right off the bat, bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Player 3. Players 1, 2, and 4. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Say it so.
Coming up next, his acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages? The McCona Industrial Age? The McCona Middle Ages? Or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Players 2 and 3? That was quality. Players 1 and 4? The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Here's a good one. Brought to you by the letter U-nibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Watch the clock. Player 4. Check, please. Players 2 and 3. The Count would be so disappointed. Player 1. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! That earned you an extra grand. And yet, none of them have ever blinked. May I introduce Duck Duck Swan? Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Not much time left. Player 3. Players 1 and 2. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Up next, the man in the backwards yellow hat, and it's a dis or dat. Player 3, don't say I never gave you anything. Play this dis or dat and try to improve your score. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Now the rest of you listen up. Pick your answers before Player 3 does, because if Player 3 gets it wrong, everyone who gets it right will split that cash. Cool, let's do it. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. Egg the house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. You were a couple of bananas short of a bunch. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That's the end of a thrilling first round. And Player 1 is ahead, and leaving no doubt about it either. Keep in mind, all the prizes are doubled in round 2. And keep in mind, the wrong answer of the game is still out there waiting for you. Let's get back to the action. And on its way, Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Players 1, 2, and 4. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Player 3. No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won the greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Today's wrong answer of the game is worth a whopping $8,000. Enjoy.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Pucker up for Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Hello? Players 1 and 2? You may not know how temperatures work. Player 3? 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah blah blah, he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Take a good look at Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus. Player 1. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Player 4? Players 2 and 3? That answer has a hole in it. This one's called Wine or Lose. If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Watch your time! Players 1 and 2? This isn't going to go with dinner at all. Player 3? Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Why not try? I want to lick and roll all night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Players 1, 3, and 4? I think at that point it would practically be coming out the other end. Player 2? An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two... Oh, do you need to be somewhere? My mistake. Here's your clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. Player 2 has it! Player 2, you're like some freak of nature. You're a winner who's still a loser. They ought to put you in some carnival sideshow. The half winner, half loser. Don't get too close, kids. Just gawk in amazement at its stunningly crappy score.
You don't know Jack!